So the seasons have changed, and we've come here today on St. Paddy's Day.
Hey, what is going on here?
To enjoy a day at the farm, a day full of luck.
Oh no, not again.
A day full of treasure, and if we're lucky, we can find over that rainbow. Pretty sure this is a bad time for this to be happening, but I think there's only one elevator of the 3 working in the hotel right now. That's not great. Expect longer than average wait times.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
So while we walk to the front gate of the farm, we'll just take our time here to talk about Scary Farm speculation season. There's a lot of things happening in that backstage area there. There's a lot of supplies, a lot of lumber. I don't know if that's for the walls, most likely for the walls, but there is one that I noticed a couple weeks ago labeled BH Rails. I don't know what BH stands for. Maybe Blumhouse.
What the hell is wrong with you, you sick?
No, it's definitely not Blumhouse, but there's also rumor that they could be actually putting a lot of supplies for possibly some new rides that are going to be coming into the park. Maybe finishing building Camp Snoopy and whatever. We'll get into that. But as far as Scary Farm, it looks like they've completely taken down everything from Waxworks and Bloodlines. So there's really not a lot to visually look for back there, but there is a lot of stuff to visually look at, if that makes any sense. Try to make heads or tails of it. That's the challenge for this week. Try to make heads or tails of the pile of supplies that Not Taz in their backstage area.
Let's get into the farm.
So as we near closer and closer to Boysenberry Festival, it is a reminder that it is spring break, which is why the park opens at 10 a.m. now. So expect the park to be a little bit more crowded than normal, not crazy during the weekdays, but it is a little bit more crowded, and that's why they can justify the extended hours. So just so you're aware. But actually, speaking of Boysenberry Festival, after the lackluster showing of the Peanuts celebration, I'm really hoping that they show a little bit more spirit in the Boysenberry this year. They just had the media event last week, I think it was. Had a good turnout, looks like a lot of delicious food. I'll have to find out when I get there because I was not invited. Too big of a beard, they said. Too much beard. They were worried that I would save too much food in the beard and take it home for my family. Yeah, I'm excited to get Boysenberry Festival. At least this one is going to be on the daily, as opposed to Peanuts Celebration, which was only on weekends. So, on that note, let's head into Camp Snoopy and see what's going on over here. I know it's the time of year where there's not a lot happening at the park, so rumors and speculation start to run a little bit rampant. But there was a small rumor about the possibility of Snoopy's Flying Ace and back where Chilling Chambers is now, where they usually have mazes, possibly being torn down to make way for a new attraction. I don't know how that's going to work, but
stay tuned, I guess.
I just personally think that's a little ambitious for a land that can't even get airmail back up and running. We're walking through and we realize there's something that we haven't done in a very long time, and that's ride the Beagle Express. So let's take a trip down Peanuts Lane. Oh, it's more like a Calico Mine ride than the Beagle Express right now. The sack race.
Okay, we're about to start the sack race.
They got Lucy all wrapped up like a mummy. Guys, I swear there was a time where this water was like clear and see-through, and that pump back there worked. Snoopy Woodstock getting those boysenberries ready. There was a time where we were hoping that this would be a covered bridge scene with animatronic Peanuts characters. Instead, we got this. Though, it's a cute ride regardless. Oh man, we were totally gonna ride Tender Paw, but
not with that wait time.
So Nuts announced a couple weeks ago that they're gonna be kind of rolling out ride closures for refurbs just for the next month or so. I believe this week is Linus Launchers, and with that, I thought they were gonna have the waterfalls and the river shut down too, but after coming out of the restroom, we were greeted with a nice surprise as the floodgates have been opened and the water can now flow freely through the camp. You can say what you want about Camp Snoopy. It's not everybody's favorite part of the park, but let's be honest, it's probably the most shaded part of the park. It's definitely the most scenic and beautiful to look at. It's nice to come and relax at night. It's one of the nicest parts of the park, and let's be honest, the place was built for kids. I have yet to see a kid not have a good time here. Just my 2 cents. I think Camp Snoopy's a great part of the park. Knott's should be proud of what they've done over here, and the future seems bright for it. So I look forward to seeing what they do next. Let's turn our attention to some big news.
Good news!
news, everyone!
Here over in Fiesta Village, and that is that Montezuma has now been blocked off from us, getting all up on the fence. By the state of this fence, it looks like it might be a safety issue having us walk up next to it. But this can also be a good sign. This could be a sign that maybe they're going to start wheeling some parts into this area. Maybe they're going to start working on the entranceway. They also have a nice tightly wrapped white tarp up around the rail again, so maybe they're going to start painting and getting that ready to bring the new railing back. Obviously, we have to wait and see, but at this point, this ride's been shut down for so long that any sort of change here, any kind of sign of movement is good news for us. However, the rest of the Fiesta Village has yet to wake up. I don't think people have gotten to this part of the park yet, but they'll get here soon. You wait, around lunchtime, this place is going to be packed. You'll see.
You'll all see!
Mostly people like me trying to get some drinksies. If you haven't had these over here at the cantina, they mess you up. I'm like 270 pounds, and one of these things messes me up. Just fair warning. Not for the kids or the faint at heart. But for now, gracias por visitar. Well, 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 look who it is. Old Engine 41 pulling into the station today, eh? So they are planning for a lot of people today.
Spring break!
Okay, now gracias por visitar Fiesta Village.
Nailed it.
Doesn't seem like anybody's gotten back here to the boardwalk yet either. Give it time, I promise.
I don't believe you.
Boardwalk, however, does have a couple things that it's working on. One is these games back here in the back corner. When I first saw it happening, I didn't know what they were doing, if they were gonna...
What is she doing? I never know what she's doing back there.
Demo it and make way for something else back in this corner. But word on the street is they're redoing it to put out maybe better games, hopefully better games, updated games. You can see they were tearing down the walls last time I was here, but now it looks like they put up new ones. So get some new games back here, some new entertainment. That's kind of nice. Change is good, always. And then I mentioned back with Montezuma that any time we see even a slight little change, it means that there's progress going on. At least they're showing attentiveness to these rides. Wipeout has been shut down for months now, and we haven't had any word on it. And they just had everything dismantled, and I guess they were waiting for another part. And hopefully that part's come, because some of that gear is now uncovered, which means that hopefully they're planning on using it soon. And we can see this coming up, hopefully before it starts getting crazy hot back here. This is, it's not the most intense ride, but it is a line eater. A lot of people do like it, just because it goes pretty fast, and some people like being jumbled around. So hopefully see Wipeout here again soon. You know what would actually be kind of cool back here is if they added misters to these little light ropes that they run across the top for the summertime and even for the spring, because it gets hot. There's a lot of cement back here and not a lot of shade. It'd be really cool if we had some misters maybe over Boardwalk. Also, a possibility of a little bit of a good news, bad news situation here. The good news is Johnny Rockets could finally be on its way out, but the bad news is it could just be getting replaced by an In-N-Out. So mediocre burger for mediocre burger. I don't know.
How dare you?
No, so that's why the lines for hang time and accelerator and stuff are so short right now. Everybody's over here riding Berry Tales. Also, with the opening of the Boysenberry Festival, don't forget that with that comes the art show that they have back here at the back of the factory store. I've had the distinct privilege of seeing some of the pieces that are being submitted this year for it, and trust me, you guys, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. Really good pieces this year, I promise you. I cannot wait to have them on my wall. You know what else is going on back here in the boring 20s? Nothing? Okay, moving on.
And that's all I have to say about that.
And those that are all done with Berry Tales seem to be standing in line with everybody else at Pony Express. I think it's funny that they got the backwards ops thing going on where there's so many people here, but they're only running one train on this ride. Kind of a shame, really. This ride always seems to kind of back up hard, and it really shouldn't. And now it's broken down. However, you can bypass that whole headache, come over here, beat the heat with some Calico River Rapids. That's open, the line's not too long, and it's a fun ride, unless you aren't okay getting completely soaked. And also, this is the last time we were here, this little extension to the Red Barn's kind of gotten crazy too. I joked about it being a bar. Looks like that's what it might actually be. It's connected to the actual barn itself in the back there, so maybe it is actually going to be a little extension for some outside drinksies for you and I, possibly starting the Boysenberry Festival. And if that happens, do they get rid of this little patio bar here? Because this is where you buy a lot of the boysenberry drinks that are on your ticket, your lanyard. So this is already ready to go, obviously. This is a good spot to kind of camp out and take a break during Boysenberry Festival. But if they do bring that bar up, are these ones going to go away, or are they going to keep these here? Might as well just keep them here, right?
You got them there.
Came out to pay our respects to the dead, and they started playing the Death March. So I got music back here at the cemetery again, and it's very grim. They've also got burial announcements and a raven that caws over there. Oh, it's really creepy over here now. I gotta go.
Run away! Run away!
Also with Boysenberry Festival, amongst the announcements of entertainment, they are doing a new show here in the Birdcage Theater. It's the Great Bank Robbery, I think is what it's called. That'll be nice to get a little change in entertainment. There's also word that the gun shop over here, the little knife shop and everything, its lease is coming up. So could we see a change here as well? Maybe a new little eatery or something really cool that we don't even know about.
Maybe it's something really cool that
I don't even know about.
It's kind of a bustling today, though. A few people coming in and out of here, watching the blacksmith and just kind of enjoying the sights and the sounds. Love this town. As far as the Calico Log Ride, it's supposed to be opening up this weekend, so that's exciting because it's supposed to be getting hot here pretty soon, next mid-80s by next week or something like that. They're still working on the sign that's up at the front there. That's kind of the biggest project that's going on. They're not doing any crazy work with the flumes or anything this time, so hopefully they should hit their deadline. They've got the lift ramp, all the rollers are put back on, everything's good there. They're sweeping the entrance and just kind of cleaning everything else up around the inside. I cannot wait to have this ride back. You don't realize how much you miss it until it's gone. Well, found out where everybody was hiding. The line for Ghost Rider is already pretty much back at the cave, so we're looking at probably a 2-hour wait before it even gets to noon, and the line for Stutters is probably an hour as well. So everybody's still up at the front of the park trying to get all this taken care of. This is like borderline summer nights lines over here already. So it is spring break, guys. Remember that. I was not lying.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
'Cause I told you.
Yeah, I told you the crowds would show up. We're gonna go to the horsies. And not having the little booths over here, it just kind of reminded me, I don't know if it's like this for anybody else, but this year so far just seems like a bit of a mail-it-in year for Knott's. Thank you, Ghost Rider.
What the hell did you just say?
With the kind of the half-cocked approach to Peanut Celebration, Boysenberry Festival, while it looks like it's got plenty of options, it just seems like it's a little bit smaller as far as entertainment and stuff is concerned. I don't know, it feels like they might be scaling back this year. My short-term thinking is a little pissed, but my long-term thinking is
Kind of excited.
because maybe this means that they're, prepping for something big in the, mid to distant future. So long story short, spring break is here. The lines have come with it. So in the famous words of a good friend of mine, pack your patience. Now it's time to go play dad. So until I see you up on the mountain, down at the studios, or right back here at the farm, we'll catch y'all on that flippity flop.